What the hell happened to men? We used to chase women, fight bad guys, and make love like Bond. Now we sit around waiting for permission, like neutered reachers in a towel. If that line made you clench, good. You're exactly where you need to be. This ain't therapy. This ain't TikTok advice with ukulele music. This is the Pattaya Red Pill report. And we're talking about why men stop going for it, and why that's killing your chances, your confidence, and your balls. If you're tired of the sugar-coated bullshit, subscribe now and support the cause below, because this channel's demonetized, just like your dating life. Let's go. The new male fantasy, Jack Reacher edition. Let's talk about Jack Reacher. Not the book version, the TV one, the new Reacher, the walking muscle tank who eats diner slop, never lifts a weight, and somehow stays more shredded than a UFC fighter on meth and chicken breasts. The kind of guy who could bend a crowbar just by blinking too hard. On paper, he's every guy's fantasy. Stoic, dangerous, built like a tank. No job, no boss, no bills. Just drifts from town to town, dropping bodies and solving crimes like some testosterone-fueled Batman on vacation. But here's the twist. Reacher doesn't do women. Oh, they're around. Gorgeous, competent, sexually forward women. But guess who never makes a move? Reacher. Big Jack can rip off a car door. Reacher can't even rip off a damn bra strap unless she basically tackles him first. In season 1, this smoke show Roscoe spends half the series in heat, flirts with him, walks into his hotel room in her underwear, literally walks in on him showering. You know what Reacher does? He just stands there. Like a damp statue with PTSD, she has to make the first move, then the second, then the third. Finally, she pounces on him like a cougar in heat. Dude barely blinks. Season 2, same shit, different heroine. Dixon throws him obvious signals, asks him out for a drink. He declines. Later, when she's basically rubbing a bullet wound near her boob in front of him, dude still doesn't flinch. She eventually has to straight up mount him like a damn rodeo event just to get a kiss. You seeing the pattern? It happens again in season 3. New girl, same awkward dance. She flirts, he broods, she leans in, he compliments her like he's writing a Yelp review for her personality. Eventually, she jumps him mid-conversation during a shootout prep because nothing says foreplay like body armor and unspoken trauma. Reacher doesn't flirt, doesn't initiate, barely even looks at them. They throw themselves at him, and he just kind of shrugs his way into sex like it's an unexpected side quest. Now, here's the punchline. This is what male fantasy looks like in 2025. Not the old school James Bond, I'll take the mission, the martini, and the girl. Nope. Now, it's I'll kill the bad guy but only sleep with the girl if she makes the first move, signs a waiver, and does all the heavy lifting. And that's the problem. Even our fantasies don't let us act like men anymore. You're supposed to be a jacked war god with 600 confirmed kills and not enough shirts. But you need a woman to ask you out, kiss you, and drag you into bed? If that's the role model, what message are guys getting? Be passive. Wait, she'll come to you, and if she doesn't, well, I guess you weren't jacked enough. Bullshit. What this passivity tells us about men today. So why does Reacher resonate? Why are guys out here binge-watching a human tank who never initiates and thinking, yeah, that's the dream? Because something's broken, and it ain't just in Hollywood. It's in us. Reacher isn't just a fantasy anymore. He's a coping mechanism, a way to imagine being wanted without ever having to risk wanting. Let me break that down for the slow degenerates in the back. Guys today are scared to want, scared to chase, scared to act, because wanting leads to risk, and risk leads to rejection. And modern men, we've been trained like lapdogs to avoid that shit at all costs. Don't approach, don't flirt, don't be too forward, and let her come to you. Let her make it obvious. Wait for the stars to align, your abs to pop, and the girl to slide into your DMs. Modern dating advice is a never-ending list of passive bullshit. Just focus on your grind, king. Go monk mode. Build your kingdom, she'll appear when you're ready. You know what that is? Fear, dressed up as self-improvement. It's a fancy way of saying, I'm too scared to go for what I want, so I'll just pretend I'm building myself until it magically appears in front of me. Newsflash. Women aren't Pokemon. You don't stumble into a wild one after walking around long enough, but that's where we're at now. A generation of guys who treat desire like a liability. They want sex, love, connection, but only if they don't have to ask for it. And look, I get it. It's a minefield out there. One wrong move and suddenly you're the villain in a TikTok story time. Guys see their peers get roasted, canceled, rejected publicly, and they think, screw it, I'll just keep scrolling. Because that's what they know. Swipe, wait, like, watch, scroll, repeat. The passive cycle of digital dopamine and zero consequences. And the more you do it, the more you forget how to feel, want, let alone act on it. So now we've got men who lift weights, build businesses, stack cash, but can't ask a girl for her number without a 3-day anxiety attack and a group chat vote. And what does that lead to? Fantasy fulfillment shows where even the manliest motherfucker on screen has to be chased by the girl. Because even in our imaginations, we're too afraid to take the first step. It's not just fiction anymore. It's a mirror. The contrast, desire in the 2000s fantasy. Let's rewind. Back before TikTok turned men into dopamine zombies, back before monk mode became an excuse for never making a move, back to the early 2000s when male fantasy wasn't passive. You remember it, the teen comedies, the rom-coms, the action flicks. Hell, even the nerds had a shot because at least they wanted something. Take The Girl Next Door. Classic. Nerdy high school kid, total nobody, gets blindsided by a bombshell moving in next door. She's hot, confident, way out of his league, and what does he do? He wants her. Badly. He doesn't sit back like Reacher waiting for the heavens to drop her on his lap. He risks looking stupid, risks losing, risks getting his heart drop kicked. There's this one scene. Iconic. He's at a party, the alpha jock is moving in on his girl, and our boy's about to walk away, tail tucked, game over, but then he snaps, something clicks, and he says, fuck it. He goes for it. He doesn't have a six-pack, doesn't drive a Lamborghini, doesn't have the perfect line. What he has is desire and the balls to act on it. And that's what made those old fantasies powerful. It wasn't just about getting the girl. It was about wanting her, chasing her, risking something for her. Even the badasses weren't immune. Let's talk about Casino Royale, 2006, Daniel Craig's first Bond movie. Bond walks into a room and you feel it, the tension, the flirtation, the raw, unfiltered lust. He wants Vesper, and she knows it. No awkward stares, no waiting for her to jump his bones during a tactical briefing. Bond leads, he flirts, he risks. And if he got rejected, he'd raise an eyebrow, sip his martini, and move the fuck on. That was the fantasy back then. A man who knew what he wanted and wasn't afraid to act on it. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about being present. Not waiting for permission, not needing a damn Google Calendar invite to feel attraction. Compare that to Reacher. Guy can take out 5 dudes in a bar with a broken chair leg, but put him next to a woman in a towel and he's suddenly mute with a trauma flashback. The contrast is embarrassing. 2000s men were clumsy, awkward, horny idiots, but they tried. 2020s men are stoic, shredded, emotionally regulated, and can't flirt their way out of a wet paper bag. One generation risked rejection. This one avoids it like it's a terminal disease. And that's the shift from messy pursuit to sterile passivity. From I'll win her over to if I'm good enough, maybe she'll notice. And spoiler alert, she won't. Social media, fear culture, and the new rejection. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Men didn't just wake up one day and decide to neuter their desire. They were trained, conditioned, numbered by algorithms, fear, campaigns, and a digital world where chasing what you want feels dangerous. Let's start with social media. The dopamine machine, you open your phone and boom, an endless buffet of ass, abs, advice, and alpha quotes. It feels like connection. It feels like experience, but it's a sugar high that never delivers the nutrients. It teaches you to watch, not act, scroll, not pursue, swipe, not speak. You're being programmed to observe life, not live it. And the longer you stay plugged in, the harder it gets to even remember what you want, let alone go get it. Now combine that with the culture of fear. We raised a generation of men to believe that desire is dangerous, that if you want a woman and show it, you might get accused, canceled, exposed, clipped into a viral story time with ukulele music in the background. You hear it all the time. I don't approach women at bars anymore, too risky. I don't want to come off as a creep. Better to wait and be safe. Better to do nothing. Because rejection used to be personal, quiet. Now it's public, broadcast, eternal. One screenshot and suddenly you're that guy. So dudes retreat. They go passive and they wait for clear signals, for consent paperwork, for a damn skywriting message that says, I like you, before they even think about leaning in. And guess what? Most women don't want to lead. They want a man who knows what he wants and makes a move, not a statue who needs a user manual to flirt. So, the dynamic dies. Men are scared. Women are frustrated. Nobody acts. Nobody risks. Just more swiping, more scrolling, more pretending that your grind is more important than your gut. And it's not just dating, it's everything. The fear of being too much has infected the masculine core. So guys play it small, keep their mouths shut, watch their dream girl walk away. Let the promotion go to someone louder. Let their real opinions rot behind safe takes and polite nods. This is what happens when a man is taught to be afraid of his own fire. He doesn't burn, he dims, and the reacher fantasy, it's not a celebration of stoicism. It's a symptom of silence, a silent wish. Please let me be wanted without having to risk being seen. Why this matters, the cost of never going for it. So what's the big deal, right? Who cares if men are passive? If they stop chasing, stop initiating, stop putting themselves out there. Here's the deal, and I'm not sugarcoating this. If you never go for what you want, you'll never get what you want. Simple, brutal, true. When a man loses touch with his desire, with that raw, instinctual pull towards something or someone, he doesn't become peaceful. He becomes numb. You think you're playing it safe, avoiding rejection, avoiding embarrassment, avoiding all the awkward risks of actually wanting something. You're not playing it safe. You're playing it small. And small men don't build empires. They build cages. Every time you hesitate instead of act, every time you wait for the right time that never comes, every time you scroll past something that lights a fire in your gut and go, not yet. You're putting another brick in that cage. You tell yourself you'll chase her when you've lost the weight. You'll start the business once you get the certificate. You'll speak up once you feel ready. But deep down, you know the truth. You're stalling. Because wanting something, really wanting it, requires courage. Desire is a risk. And we've created a generation of men who won't even feel desire unless it's been pre-approved by the algorithm, the culture, and 12 group chat buddies. You know what happens when you cut a man off from his wants? You break him. He starts chasing fake shit, watches success porn on YouTube, buys a watch to prove he's got it together, spends 5 years building his frame just to never actually test it. He becomes the guy who's got everything lined up, but no one to share it with. Perfect body, lonely bed, nice car, empty life, cool Instagram, hollow heart. All right, you can build the kingdom, but if you never claim the throne, what's the fucking point? Let me put it in Pattaya terms for the boys. You're sitting in a bar. A hot girl keeps glancing your way. You think about going over, but you tell yourself she probably has a boyfriend. Wait till I finish my drink. Let her make the move. 30 minutes later, some old bastard who smells like Tiger Bomb walks over, cracks a joke, grabs her hand, and leaves with her. You had the shot. You didn't take it. That's your life in a nutshell. Men were built to pursue. Not harass, not force, but pursue. To feel that fire, go after it, and risk the burn. And without that, you're not a man. You're just another safe, silent face in the crowd. What to do? Reclaiming the chase? All right, enough diagnosis. Let's talk cure. Because if you're still watching, if your gut's been clenching through this whole rant, that means you feel it. Somewhere under the fear, the scrolling, the fake stoicism, you know you want more. Good. That means you're not dead yet. So here's the truth. You want to reclaim your masculinity? You want to stop fantasizing about being wanted and actually be the man women want? You have to fucking chase. Yeah, I said it. You need to risk rejection. Not once, not twice. Every damn day until it stops scaring you, because the guy who never gets rejected isn't smooth. He's invisible. You see her across the room. Don't overthink it. Walk up, speak, smile, bomb, recover, ask her out, flirt, lean in and fucking try. And if she shuts you down, good. That means you're in the game. You build calluses by touching the flame, not hiding from it. And let's be clear, this isn't about being some loud, thirsty clown chasing everything with the pulse. This is about reconnecting with what you want and being willing to risk your ego to get it. Because no woman, no business, no opportunity worth a damn is going to fall in your lap while you wait like Reacher in a hotel towel. The men who win are the ones who move, They speak, they act, they know that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the refusal to let fear dictate your life. So, next time you feel that fire in your gut, the spark of attraction, ambition, or wild, stupid desire to make something happen, don't bury it. Fuel it. That's what separates the man who gets what he wants from the man who dies with a phone full of saved quotes and no fucking legacy. And if you're in Pattaya, don't be that guy sitting in the corner, sipping Leo like it's holy water, waiting for a girl to rescue him. Be the man who sees, moves, and owns the moment. Because that's what real masculinity looks like. Not silence, not safety, but the courage to chase what you want. And the strength to handle it when it tells you no. You're welcome for the slap in the face. Now listen, this channel's demonetized because I don't pander, simp, or sanitize. If you want more real talk with zero corporate leash around my neck, support the channel. Patreon's open, Buy Me a Coffee is live. Think of it like tipping your bartender. If your bartender cursed at you, told you to man up, and made you better with every pour. Links are below. You drop tips at bars for a smile. Drop something here for the truth. If the truth hurts, good. That means you're still alive. See you next round.